Hey everybody, I'm Tony Fleming from Fleming's Ultimate Garage. Thank you for joining me on really one of the greatest cars of all time, ever, ever, ever. We've had thousands of cars come through here. If you have never driven and owned one of these cars in your lifetime, it is a mandatory thing. There's a reason why the original ones sell for $5 to $10 million, right? Because think about this is a tiny little British sports car, right? Like this, like an MGA or something like that, where we put in go from like 65 horsepower or 80 horsepower to 450 horsepower, 500 horsepower. You can imagine the difference that these things do. And then a build quality second to none. These are all built. Now listen, here's the difference. This is not a kit car. There are kit cars and there are factory built cars. This is the only one, the Superformance is the only one authorized by Shelby as a replica car. It's a replica, it's a factory built car. What does that mean? All right, let me explain to you real quick so that you know. What that means is the same craftsmen are building the same car, very much like a Dodge Viper and the Prowlers were all built on an assembly line by craftsmen who are trained to just build those cars. The same thing goes here. It's built by the same people, same car every time, not you or me in my garage, right? Each build's different. Those are not the way. These are all built exactly the same. It's why I love them. The quality is so good. We're going to take a second. We're going to walk around and look at that. So I get this a lot of times from people, Tone, that's a great looking car, but we don't know why sometimes. Let me explain to you why. I'm going to point out a couple things that I think make these cars stand out from many others. All right, so some things that are important. These right here, the side pipes are fabulous, but if they're just painted, they're going to rust and get chipped and cracked. These are ceramic coated, right? So they last. They're ceramic coated in silver, so the raw metal's not exposed. These are 18-inch wheels. You say, well, Tone, those are amazing. Wow. However, I love the original 15-inch style wheel. You know what? No problem. I'll keep those and we'll get you some 15-inch wheels and we can make that change for you. That way you get the taller tire. It looks a little more stock. However, in this situation here, we have a much bigger footprint and higher speed rating and things like that. That's one of the reasons people love these, but it doesn't have to be that way. Or maybe you like the idea of painting the centers of these gray instead of having the whole thing polished. We can do that as well. All right, on to the paint. Citron yellow paint, Speed yellow paint, Ferrari yellow paint, all the same color, right? Different names and what have you. But in the case of this here, the detail of how these cars are painted is why I want to show you that. Okay, so I like to talk about the paint and the fit and finish of these cars versus many other cars that are out there and point out some things that take a lot of extra time. And agreed, this is more expensive than a kit car, but you're getting a much better car that holds its resale value way better than a kit car. Here's why. Simple things like, see all the rivets that are here? This is the way the car would have been done. It would have been painted all separately, right? And then they would have used the rivets, which are a different color. They're stainless, okay? And that's a whole nother step. They also would have painted the car, wet sanded it, painted the stripes on, wet sanded and cleared the whole car, right? So that you don't feel the stripes. Why do you not want to feel the stripes? Well, because when you wash and wax it over years, the stripe edges don't tear. And so that we see that here. Even these things here, these are brass, but they're chrome plated brass. This windshield surround is chrome plated brass. You say, Tone, what does that even mean? Do I care? No, you don't care, but what it is authentic. It's why Shelby said, okay, this is the car that we'll do. This car also, believe it or not, is the CSX continuation series of Shelby's cars that he sells through the factory there. But you'll see here, this has the ridge inside here so that you can put the soft top on. This comes with soft top and side curtains and things like that. These great little wipers are the cutest things. They're only about this big because the windshield's not so big. But this is a real world car you can live in. We'll get into that in just a minute, but I want to show you the quality of the paint because it is ridiculous. And what I want you to do is take a lesson in paint. Here's your lesson. Ready? Don't look at the paint. Well, Tony, you said I need to look at the paint. Now you don't want me to look at the paint. Now I need to look at the paint. Yes, you need to look at the paint. Here's what I want you to do. Don't look at the paint. Look at what's in the paint. Look at the ceiling. Look at the writing on here and look at that. Then you know a car is good, right? Crisp, clear, and finite. Like you can see all the detail. All right, so come on up here. Look at that right there and tell me what you think about that. Can you see the ceiling beams? Can you see every little piece of writing on there, crisp and clear? It's why this car shines the way it does under the lights. You may want to go to a car show. You may just want to sit at home, grab a beverage, and just sit and look at this because everything about this is ridiculous, right? The color is fabulous, but this engine alone, this is the the 427 SR engine from Roush, makes over 500 horsepower, comes with a dyno sheet. Remember, these cars, when they were British sports cars with 4 cylinders in them, were making in the 60 to 80 horsepower range. We're talking about 500 horsepower. We're talking about aluminum heads, aluminum water pump, multi-electric fans for cooling. Now, if you wanted to, what some people like to do is convert this dress-up package here to the original style, right? Where it says Cobra on it. You get the big oval air cleaner there. We can do that as well. I love that look. It looks so good when you open the hood, but some people are proud to talk about Roush. You decide what you want to do, but twin master cylinders, all of this in here, all of it's like brand new. It's a 1,500 mile car, 1,500 miles on it, and it looks like it's 15 miles. All right, so this is a great shot because you look at the stripes and they go all the way through. Things people don't notice. For instance, when the car is done, right, they stripe all the way underneath the dash, all the way here, underneath the apron right there. So it looks like a continuous stripe that goes all the way through. These are quick jacks. How do they work? Why are they called quick jacks? Well, you have your choice between a street bumper, which would bolt on the same part, that's a hoop like this, or these quick jacks with the racing version. They would come up with a bar. They would push the bar down. That would jack the car up. They could take the wheels on and off quickly because they were pin drive wheels. They didn't need all the lug nuts. And then boom, we lowered it right back down and we were back out there much faster. This quick fill cap is kind of cool, and I like it because it serves 2 purposes. One, it's fabulous looking, and 2, it has a real gas cap inside it as well. So it's double protection for anything. And that's the kind of thought that I feel Superformance does when they give some thought to the detail and build of these. Lastly, we have these snaps here for a tonneau cover. It comes with a tonneau cover. The soft top and side curtains, side doors are optional on these cars. So if you decide you want one for it, we can source that for you. But the tonneau cover is kind of nice because if you want to wait for the weekend, all you do is snap it in and the car's nice and protected. Water rolls off, dirt and dust don't get in there if you went to car show or whatever. And then if you want to get in and drive it, you just unzip it and use half of it and leave half in there. It looks kind of cool. All right, that's it. All right, so I do like this because it's functional. And you say, Tone, how can this beast be functional? Well, first off, it's so easy to drive. It's a 4-wheel, fully independent suspension, so it rides pretty decent, right? But more importantly, it handles like unbelievable. Second, I like to show stuff like this. So for instance, this car already has a California car cover in it, which is really nice. It's an expensive car cover, okay? Then the tonneau cover's in here as well. And you got all this room in here if you throw in 3 or 4 soft bags in here and go away for the weekend. Could you imagine how different a weekend away would be in this car as you rumble down the highway in 5th gear if you want it to be quiet, 4th gear if you want it to be a little bit louder, rolling down the road, watching the gauges move around, the breeze blowing through your hair for those of us that maybe don't have as much hair, but you know what I'm talking about. All right, so this is the shot I love so much. You're walking up to this car, man, and this car is fabulous looking, right? It just is. The black stripes with the black quick jacks, the big wheels and tire upgrade, the pipes on the side, a couple small changes if you wanted to, you could make those as well, or you could leave it just as it is. That's the great thing about getting a car like this. If you see something that you would like it to be different, we can do that. I don't know, it's just cool. Anyway, maybe you don't do anything. More importantly, it's time to get in. And when you get in, there's a way to get in because when you get in, you're going to want to drive. All right, so I want to give a lesson on how to get in these cars. A lot of people try to get in and they're 6'1", 6'2", like myself, and they just don't fit. The way you get in is you put your foot here and you put it on the clutch pedal. That allows you to get in and you're ready to roll. Now I'm in. I'm a 6+ foot guy, 200 pounds, and I got plenty of room here. This is probably one of the greatest inventions ever. Whoever thought of this was awesome. Why is the shifter bent? Well, you can ask a lot of people because the shifter is really supposed to be right here, right? So when you shift it into 4th gear, you would hit the wall each time, right? They fixed that by bending the shifter this way so that I only can go back that far. How cool is that, right? The gauges are nice because why are they nice? First off, they're a great amount of information, but they're very, very authentic. They're Smiths and Lucas gauges mixed in here. You got a Lucas amp gauge and you got Smiths gauges here. But more importantly, the speedometer and tach swing separately, right? It would be too hard. You can't see the speedometer here because your hand is here. You wouldn't know how fast you were going. So they make the sweep this way on this here, and the tachometer, since you see it right through the steering wheel, sweeps the other way, which is really cool, right? And they got these great toggle switches. That's the headlights that are on. saying that you left the headlights on. So it's a very modernized car when you think about it. Also has full heating system in here. This has a full heater with blower, has a charging port, right, for charging your stuff. Turn signals, the high beams are hidden right here. Look at that. They're hidden inside the turn signal switch, kind of cool. The wood rim, the Moto Lita steering wheel is still probably one of the greatest steering wheels ever. And in the world of things in cars, my favorite thing of all cars is either hood pins or the dash mounted mirror. You can't buy a car today with a dash mounted mirror, and you could get hood pins on some cars, but you can't get a dash mounted mirror, and that, my friends, is a cool piece. All right, so we close this video and talk about a few things if we could, please. For instance, this is the 427 SC body, right? What does that mean? Super competition. You would have got no bumpers. You would have got quick jacks, right? You would have got a hood scoop because you needed fresh air for more power that you were going to make. Just lots of things that like a street car would not have had, because they sell this car in the street version, right? Without the hood scoop, with bumpers, without the side exhaust, without a roll bar here. It would have been just a cool little sports car. However, this right here says, I am serious. I'm ready to do some business. Bring it, right? Roush engines, you can look them up, man. They are fabulous. They come with an amazing warranty on them. Super cool. The 18-inch wheel and tire upgrade, they are enormous. The underneath of the car, if you get some pictures of the underneath, you need to see it. It is so well built under there. The independent rear suspension, the adjustable suspension for height, dampening, things like that. All that stuff comes with this car, man. On top of it, it's thousands and thousands of dollars less than the brand new ones we're building, and only has 1,500 miles on it. It is a great buy. Anyway, call us 301-816-1000. We'll tell you all about this amazing Superformance Cobra. And if you don't mind, hit the share button down below. I love getting the message out. I really appreciate that. Hit the like button as well too. It gets it to the people. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're sending out new content all the time, and I'll see you on the test drive.